give you a free emergency radio for $30 with a subscription to Newsmax magazine. Federal agencies say every family should have an emergency radio these days, and you really need an emergency radio. So get it free with Newsmax magazine. Simply call 1-800-NEWSMAX, N-E-W-S-M-A-X. That's 1-800-NEWSMAX. Get the emergency radio free today.
Is your current home loan the right fit for you? Near historic low rates may be a great reason to refinance, but when matched with an expertly chosen loan from Loan Depot, you could be saving money and paying more towards the bottom line. Call a Loan Depot loan officer and ask about our 27-year Smart Term loan or our 10-year ARM loan. Get a great rate matched with a great loan by calling 866-888-LOAN or visit LoanDepot.com. At Loan Depot, home means everything. Rates are subject to change. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing opportunity. NMLS number 174457. Licensed in all 50 states.
COVID is spiking again, and it's just not clear how to keep your family safe. Fever is the leading symptom of COVID, and the only way to reliably detect it is with an accurate thermometer. Be vigilant and be accurate with the Estrogen Temporal Scanner, whose accuracy has been proven in more than 100 clinical studies. Don't rely on non-contact thermometers. They are proven to be inaccurate and will not reliably detect a fever that might mean COVID. Learn more at estrogen.com.
And welcome back. George Norrie with you, our final segment with Dr. Joel Wallach. And let's set another record, folks, if you can. If you're at your desktop, if you have your smartphone, go to criticalhealthnews.com right now and blow up that website. The webmaster thinks that they can hold on to it. I say you can't. It's got too many people out there. Take advantage of it. Go to criticalhealthnews.com right now with your desktop or your smartphone. I love doing that with your webmaster, Doc. It's fun.
Oh yeah, we got a great team, and your team on Friday mornings is just fabulous. They're wonderful, and the crew taking the calls now. They stay up all night on the East Coast. They stay up. They never sleep.
They got a long night tonight in the Friday. Let's go to east of the Rockies. Ken is with us in Bismarck, North Dakota. Thanks for calling, Ken. Go ahead.
Yes, I have a question about osteoporosis.
Sure.
The drugs that the doctors are recommending are like Prolia and Fosamax. They're supposed to improve the bone density. What's your opinion on those?
Okay. I like complete nutrition programs because when you have osteoporosis, you have more than a need for these medications, okay? Basically, we have programs for osteoporosis. I like right now with the COVID thing, the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. Get rid of all the bad stuff so you can absorb. No fried food, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, rye, and oats.
Does Glucogel work for that too?
Glucogel is wonderful. Is part of the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack. Also the Glucogel, you can go ahead, we have a liquid form of it, we have capsules. When I'm on the airplane, they take the capsules, I take 5 of those capsules twice a day. At home, I'll drink the liquid, I add it to my liquid drink twice a day, an ounce twice a day, so it's 2 quarts a month of the liquid Glucogel. And what it is, it's made out of cartilage and ligaments and tendons from beef and sheep and poultry and fish. And so you're getting all those forms of collagen and cartilage and stuff.
Which are fantastic.
Oh, it's a good choice, and that's an add-on. And don't forget the vitamin D3. The vitamin D3, 3 of those twice a day, get the minerals into the bones. And this takes care of the osteoporosis of the skull, all the bones in the body, peripheral neuropathy, sciatica, those kinds of things. There's a paralysis that babies are born with because they have osteoporosis of the skull when they're born, and it squeezes their spinal cord. Erb's palsy is called, and they're paralyzed from the neck down. And the doctor said, well, it's an autoimmune thing, there's nothing you can do about it. Well, it's really just osteoporosis of the skull. So you give them on the kids' toddy, and you can give them the liquid Glucogel and the vitamin D3, And these kids turn around, you know, in say 2 to 6 weeks. It's amazing.
Doc, what's the best way to wean yourself off prescription drugs with the help of a doctor, of course, too?
Okay, well, in most cases when you're on a prescription drug, you have a test. For instance, like diabetes, you have a test. High blood pressure, you have a test. You have a pain level when it comes to arthritis and stuff like that. And so when you're taking our programs, and you're on, let's say you have diabetes, and you're on medication for diabetes.
Metformin, let's say.
Yeah, okay, well, metformin is oral, and if you're not supplementing properly, if you're not avoiding gluten, you're not going to be able to absorb the metformin because it's an oral thing. You say, well, it doesn't work very well, and so I really have a brittle diabetes, so the metformin isn't working very well, and usually they'll put you on injectable insulin. But at any rate, the thing to do here is get on our healthy blood sugar pack. You know, the healthy blood sugar pack, 1 per 100 pounds of body weight, and then as the blood sugar begins to come down into the normal range, you reduce the medication based on the numbers, as opposed to just, you know, don't start our stuff and go cold turkey off the medication. You do it based on the numbers, and you know, it usually takes 2 weeks to start really seeing some great stuff happening. So I've seen it happen in 3 days, and people start reducing their medication in 2 to 4 weeks. They've been a real diabetic for 40 years, and 2 to 6 weeks they're not diabetic anymore. And the doctors sign off on it. They scratch their head and they say, we've never seen this before, but you're not diabetic anymore. Well, that's because they're taking the supplements and staying away from gluten so they can absorb them. And so they didn't need the medication anymore.
Let's go to Greg in the state of Washington. Hi, Greg. Go ahead.
Hey, it's got a pleasure staying in Auburn, Washington. George, appreciate you always being so receptive to your callers. And Doc,
Thank you.
As it's getting colder, you sure are a breath of warm breeze for the soul. Listen, I got a question for you about your colloidal silver. I'm kind of familiar with monatomic gold and like the monatomic heavy metals, the platinum group, or would you say? Is this kind of like a monatomic silver, or could you elaborate kind of on your colloidal silver?
Tell us more about colloidal.
Okay, it's a colloid. It's a super small particle size so that it stays suspended. Each one repels its neighbor, and so they stay suspended as opposed to a solution where they'll settle out and you get powder in the bottom of the jar. These never settle out because the particles are so small. And when you look at it in the dropper, it just looks like water. And it doesn't have any taste. But you'll notice a benefit. You know, if you have even a cold, the colloidal silver will kill the cold viruses. And so, like I say, I've been using the colloidal silver for 25 years, and doing it 4 times a day, 2 droppers full under my tongue, 30 minutes for each meal and 30 minutes for bedtime. And so this protects you against viruses, bacteria, fungus, and yeast. And of course, the hand sanitizer. The colloidal silver is, as the name says, look up colloids.
Does it have a taste at all, Doc?
Zero taste. It's just like drinking distilled water.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no taste. Nobody ever said, oh, it's awful. No, there's none of that kind of reaction. It's just like, even little kids take it. And so we give it to our grandkids. We give it to kids that are, you know, in kindergarten and stuff like that. Right now is a good thing to give to kids going to kindergarten if they're going to school. Especially,
a lot of parents are concerned about that.
Yeah, that they don't want to give them in vaccines and stuff like that. Get them on the colloidal silver and the hand sanitizer. And the kids like the hand sanitizer. It kind of smells lemony, and it kills viruses, bacteria, fungus, and yeast. I use it for an aftershave, especially, you know, I go out to these meetings at various hotels and I have to go meet people at banks and things like that because they're setting up trust funds and so on. And so it's one of those things where, because I'm in contact with people, I don't know how well they're taking care of themselves, and I don't want them to give me something.
Right.
So I super take care of myself with the diet, the supplements, the colloidal silver, the hand sanitizer, and it's worked for me for 75 years. Haven't had a cold in 75 years. Haven't had the flu in 75 years.
I'm like you. You know, the only thing that ever happened to me is I bit into some hot pizza rolls, and that shut me down for a day.
Well, pizza, of course, if you're not careful, you get the gluten crust made out of wheat. I eat 3 dinners a night made out of gluten-free pizza with a cauliflower and rice crust. I'll have that gluten-free pizza in the mornings, 2 mornings a week. and I put on there either hamburgers or sardines or pink salmon from the rivers of Alaska, smoked on the gluten-free pizza.
Smoked salmon's good.
Oh, let me tell you. And of course, we buy like 50 boxes at a time. You get down to the last 10, buy 50 more.
And you just freeze them, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, they go in the freezer.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's all you got to do. Text and tweets, what do you have for Doc Tom?
This one from Lori and the gang listening as they're coming back from the Eagles concert. And Doc, she would like to know the best way to address athlete's foot.
Okay, athlete's foot again.
Is that a fungus, Doc?
Yeah, athlete's foot is a fungus. It's a legendary fungus. It goes, you know, it likes between your toes because you sweat between the toes. And there's a lot of electrolytes and nutrients and so forth, so it makes the fungus happy. But they need to wash their socks with bleach. Make sure that they bleach it, and they have wonderful things like that in longevity, the laundry soap and so forth with bleach in it. And so wash the socks. Excuse me, we wash them separately because you're walking on the ground and you don't want that with your underwear and stuff like that. So you don't want athlete's foot in your bottom. And so we just wash the socks separately with the detergent that has the bleach added to it. And then we use a colloidal silver topically in between the toes during the day, and at nighttime I use it as a hand sanitizer again. I put it between the toes after the shower at night before I go to bed, and put the hand sanitizer in between the toes and put clean socks on so it doesn't run all over the place. And so I'm constantly putting hand sanitizer, colloidal silver in between the toes day and night. And so, I wrestled university, I wrestled in high school, I played football, and was on track, but never had any problems with those kind of things because I started doing this when I was 9 years old.
Good for you. Linda Maria is with us in Medford, Oregon. Hi, Linda.
Yes. Hi, George. Hi, Doc Wallach.
Hi.
Yes. Anyway, my mother is on the supplements, and she's doing very well. She can finally, sleep in a bed at night. But the prices are, high for us. So you mentioned on your podcast to a lady that you could talk to her doctor about prescribing the supplements so that Medicare.
Yeah, some doctors will do that. They'll prescribe it, and so insurance might pay for it. Okay, if the doctor prescribes it. But also, if you get on our ship, I will pay the shipping, so you're going to save a lot of money. Because especially the liquids are heavy, they're kind of pricey in shipping. But if you get on our ship, I will pay the shipping. You're paying wholesale prices for the product, and if you become an associate and you help other people, I will send you a check every month based on the volume you create, and you get tax breaks. You get to deduct a portion of your rent or your mortgage. You get to deduct a portion of your homeowner's insurance. You get to deduct the percent of your utilities if you have a longevity office and a little warehouse in your home based on the percentage of square feet.
And you get a discount wholesale.
Yeah, you pay wholesale, and I will pay the shipping if you get on our ship.
Well, you could save a lot of money that way, Doc.
Yep.
That's pretty smart. Did you come up with that idea?
Yes, sir.
You're brilliant.
Well, we try to do everything we can to help people do the right thing for themselves and their family, and their loved ones, and their neighbors, and their church mates.
They don't teach these things in college. You didn't learn that in vet school, did you?
No, they didn't teach us any of that. No, I had to learn all that.
My gosh. I would have loved, though, to have met you at the St. Louis Zoo.
Oh.
When you were out there.
That was a great time. And, of course, Marlon Perkins sent me to Africa to work on the white rhino. This is a great new piece of news for you here, George. My book, Rhino Express, is written for my 2 years I spent on the White Rhino Conservation Project. There's only 475 white rhino left then at the Umpolosi and Shishlui game reserves in Natal province, South Africa. I caught 200 of them, almost half of them, and sent them here to the United States. And now, because we built a couple of wild animal parks for them in South Africa, now there's 21,000 of them now.
Wow.
The recent count.
You saved the breed.
Yes, I was successful.
Let's go to Debbie in Crescent City, California. Squeeze a call or two in. Go ahead, Deb.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad to talk to you. Mr. Nori, you asked why did the pandemic or something stopped in 1918 or 17. Well, there was this 90-year-old man that was our friend, and he got us to take this product called Lomatum Dissectum, or it's Lomatum Dissectum, or let's see, Bressotania Damascus for LDM 100, and it's supposed to knock a virus off the cell. And I was wondering if anybody's heard about that for fighting the
I apologize, I have not heard of those.
I have not heard of that stuff
I don't
either.
know if there, there may have been something that went on back then, but they're not available now. I don't know. I'll look it up, but thank you for bringing that up.
Doc, one of the problems with ivermectin is people are taking the horse version and too much.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so they got to be careful. Have you been following this baby aspirin story?
The baby aspirin story?
Yeah, they're now recommending that people without heart conditions not to take a daily baby aspirin.
Oh, they're afraid of hemorrhaging?
Or I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think, you know, there's a lot of people, if they have a history of blood clots, it doesn't hurt to do that, but if they take their 90 essential nutrients, there's certain nutrients in the 90 essential nutrients, the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, that prevent blood clots. Okay, and people say, which one is it? Which one is it? I used to tell them that, and then they would go out and buy that one nutrient and leave the other 214 out, and then they would die. And so I stopped telling people what single nutrients are for. That's what the books are for.
Yeah.
You can look it up if they
I
want.
keep trying to bend your arm for that stuff, but you stand pat.
Yeah, yeah, because I had so many people die because they would just run to the grocery store and buy one nutrient, because they thought they were, you know, saving money, but it cost them a lot for the coffin.
Doc, thanks again for being on the program. We will talk to you in about 6 weeks. Pharmacist Ben will join us in about 3. So that'll get us, getting close to Thanksgiving, my friend.
Well, thank you so much, George. You and Tom are the greatest as usual. God bless you and all the great work you do and allowing me to share with your followers and listeners. You are an angel of God, and we appreciate you.
Doc Wallach, criticalhealthnews.com. And again, all of you, hit that website. Let's break a record and break it in big time. Up next, we're going to talk about higher consciousness with you on Coast to Coast AM.
Get daily show updates right to your inbox for free with the Coast Zone newsletter. Sign up today at coasttocoastam.com.
Air wants to give you the cleanest air possible, and the affordable Autumn series does just that.
The Autumn Desk is a revolutionary air purifier that transforms your workspace into personal clean air zones.
Unlike other air filtration systems that may take hours to purify the air, the Autumn Desk begins working immediately.
Put it right next to you while you work and create your own personal bubble of ultra-pure air.
This game-changing technology has been proven to remove 99% of all airborne pollutants.
Visit iqair.com/US to learn more. Give them a call, 800-500-4AIR, 800-500-4247. The Delta variant is making COVID-19 spread faster and more easily. Variants can be more contagious, aggressive, and deadly. But we know vaccines work. Vaccinated Californians have greater protection against serious illness, hospitalization, and death. We can help stop the spread and end this pandemic. Get vaccinated and wear a mask when it can protect you and others. Find a vaccine near you at myturn.ca.gov. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
The smell was so repulsive and overpowering. Undaunted, I kept looking for the source of that awful stench. Hello, I'm John McCoyan, owner of Rooter Hero Plumbing. I was 18 and I needed to earn enough money to buy some good, reliable tools. Digging trenches was honest work and it paid $35 a day. So I did it. My client's main line had collapsed and the sewage gas was overwhelming. My eyes watered, but I couldn't leave my client in that condition. I learned my work ethic from my father, who was the hardest working man I ever met. When I started Rooter Hero Plumbing, I brought that work ethic to the company. We will never leave you without solving your problem. That's why my cell phone number is on the back of every Rooter Hero business card. Call us at 866-RANGE-77 and we'll cable that line for $77. That's 866-RANGE-77. Thank you.
Everybody needs a hero. HeroesCom.
CO 102-8886.
Ignorance is bliss. We have zero bliss.
Completely blissless.
KOSCHD2. Los Angeles, Orange County. Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
New problem at the port. I'm Phil Hewlett from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. The supply chain problem continues in the ports of L.A. and Long Beach, but now there's a new problem emerging: container dumping.
The issues that we've been seeing will continue.
That's Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg remarking about containers showing up on city streets in places like Wilmington. Even though the ports are operating 24/7 with a truck driver shortage and other issues, Buttigieg says he expects the problems to extend well into the holidays. Today, the LA City Council will formally consider suspending Councilman Mark Ridley Thomas. If he is, he'll immediately lose his pay and benefits. Ridley Thomas was indicted last week on federal bribery and conspiracy charges. Unvaccinated LA City employees will be fired if they don't have the coronavirus shots or a valid exemption by December 18th. The vaccination deadline for city employees was at midnight, but the city made a final offer to unions, giving employees another 60 days. Police Chief Michael Moore says he's worried about losing officers.
What my hope is, and our commitment as a city and as a chief, is that every member of this organization
Super President WRF.
And that we follow science.
All of California is officially in a drought emergency. Yesterday, Governor Newsom has all 7 Southern California counties. Now authorities have the power to ban practices like hosing sidewalks and watering after a rainstorm. A sewage spill has prompted the closure of a large portion of Huntington Harbor. All public water contact 100 yards to the north and south of the Warner Public Dock is off limits until further notice. The sewage was accidentally released from a boat holding tank. After a come-from-behind 6-5 win yesterday, the Dodgers will host the Braves for Game 4 of the National League Conference Series. Atlanta leads the series 2-1. Southbound weather from KFI. Similar clouds and fog to start. Mostly sunny later. Highs in the low to mid-70s. Mid-60s at the beaches. Right now it's 54 in Orange, San Clemente 54, Arcadia 54, and in West Hollywood 56 degrees. We lead local from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Phil Hewlett. Royal Heights, there is a work zone. South of Soto to Eastern Avenue. 2 right lanes are going to be shut down for road work until 6. Expect delays in that area. Westchester, this is on the 405 northbound at Howard Hughes Parkway. Police activity is blocking the off-ramp right there. Your drive is bunching up as you approach. And in Anaheim Hills, this is on the 91 eastbound, right before Rear Canyon. We have a car-on fire blocking the fast-track lanes. Watch for some flowing from just after Lakeview. KFI and the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Brad Van.
Drew,
you
know,
spooky during Halloween?
What, Dad?
Your old mattress. Because after 8 years, an old mattress loses support and comfort and can collect sweat, dead skin, and stuff like that. So if your mattress is over 8, it's time to replace during Simply Fall sale. Save $1,000 on select mattresses from Beautyrest, Kingsdown, and Series, and get a $300 gift with any Tempur-Pedic purchase. So this Halloween season, trust your sleep to sit and sleep. For dreams that are sweeter than a pumpkin spice latte. That sounds good, Drew.
AMCO presents Bet You Didn't Know.
Bet you didn't know that your car's transmission is made up of 800 pieces. Also, bet you didn't know that AMCO's fixed over 40 million transmissions, and that AMCO offers a nationwide warranty.
Are you still driving around